All right, what's up out there, sports lunatics, maniacs, cretins, and whatever the fuck else you're calling yourselves this week? Welcome back to the program, back to the Fantasy Football Factory, where I'm joined by my favorite humans in the world. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, what's
Going on?
up, dude?
It is so good to see you guys, man. Here we are. Can you believe it's week 5 already? What in the fuck is happening? Jesus.
It has flown by. It's crazy, man.
Crazy,
It's
man.
wow.
We're into the baseball playoffs already, and fucking it's just good grief. 2024 has been a blur.
You got bye
Yeah,
weeks coming up. It's crazy, Here we
Yeah,
are.
right. That's a very good point. This is
Last week. Here we are.
the first week of the bye week starts this week. That's right. That's a good
the
point.
bye week blues.
The bye week nightmares. Yeah, man. There's a couple of
Yeah.
bye weeks actually this year coming up that are going to be pretty brutal to some people, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's crazy how they changed that schedule the last couple of years, or there'd be like
Nuts,
5-16.
man. Nuts.
That's nuts.
And they're pushing for an 18-week schedule with what, 2 bye weeks, I think, if they end up doing that. So,
Yeah. I think bye weeks in week 14 are just crazy
well,
right
it's
now.
certainly
Man.
shitty for many of us fantasy guys out there who have
Yes,
to structure our playoffs around it. So that sucks. But that's a problem for a future show. But I want to welcome everybody back to the program and welcome you guys, man. Did you enjoy the games last week? We had some good ones, right?
Oh, they were great, man.
Yeah, man.
I enjoyed ours. Lions.
Yeah, there you go. I bet you did. It
I
almost
got
feels like in week 4, with people not playing in the preseason, it almost feels like week 4 is when everybody started to get their shit together, in a lot of ways.
right.
Especially the QBs. They're starting to really, click a little bit better. It's still not. I mean, this QB year is definitely different than the years past.
Oh,
But
I would
think
say.
probably, yeah, well, a lot of these guys that held out, and I think we touched a little bit about it last week, that held out and didn't play at all in the preseason. Obviously you got your Dak and your CD who didn't, they haven't really been on,
Right. Not at all. Right.
yet, but they're getting there. I mean, they had a good game last week and they'll continue to get it.
Yeah, it's basically like at least the first 3 weeks of the regular season for the people that don't play in the preseason. That's basically them getting warmed up. So here we are now.
It's sloppy football.
Yeah, sloppy, exactly.
Yes, it's very sloppy.
Sloppy football.
Hopefully it gets a little better.
But yeah, I think we're turning the corner now into what will be what we can kind of learn to really expect from some of these guys, man. And as I've said before, it's what we all expected in the preseason, right? MVP talk around like Sam Darnold and people like that, just like you thought, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what all of us had on our preseason.
And it was between him and Baker in my book. I mean,
Right,
clearly
exactly.
we were so
Exactly.
with that call.
That's right. And depending on your scoring system, Baker Mayfield may very likely be number 1 scoring wise in the quarterback position in your league. So
he's been a monster.
Insane, brother. Insane. I had him on my bench last week, but that's another, I did start Justin Fields, so it wasn't terrible. But
hey, not bad.
What did you learn about the NFL season in week 4, gentlemen?
You didn't know how Love was going to be coming back this week off the injury. A lot of people might not have started, depending on your quarterback, your rules and in your league, you might not have even had him on the field. And they had a rough start to the game. I mean, being down, he was hucking that ball and threw for 389, 4 touchdowns. He did have a couple picks here and there, but still, I mean, he's scoring 30, 36, whatever it was in your league. But
heck of a game for coming back.
Basically, I learned expect nothing. Because that's basically what it was.
Week 4 for me, man, I definitely think it was some of the running backs are starting to emerge, man. I think that that Kenneth Walker had a game. Jordan Mason looks like he's doing really well in CMC's absence. We got Jonathan Taylor's making a case for making a comeback this year, I would say, in the last couple of weeks. It's been fun. I think the running back position's been fun, especially if you're running against the Cowboys defense.
Exactly.
But
about that King Henry, by the way, I mean, speaking of running backs, I mean, what a show he put on. I mean, the first play of the game, longest play in, Russian Ravens history.
Wow.
What do you 199, a touchdown, a catch for a touchdown. I mean, look at the size of this guy, right? 250 pounds running down the field, and no one was even little DeMar Hamlin was trying to catch him. I mean, seriously, what were you going to do, buddy? Go for a ride on his piggyback ride on him? That was hilarious, man.
Baltimore took it to Buffalo too, boy. I tell you.
People make business decisions trying to tackle him. And
Yeah, that's
a
right.
plus.
That's
Like,
right.
You don't want to be the poster child of one of those stiff arms.
Well, how perfectly does Derrick Henry fit into Baltimore? My God, he's
It's nasty.
he was the piece they needed, I would say. They looked a little rough early, but they seem to be another team that we talked about, that kind of the preseason bleed over effect. But I think that as they've seemed to have gotten past that, they look tough. All right, so yes, let's break down some games game by game going into this, and then we'll talk about our FanDuel and our Fantasy Kings lineups that we have recommended for everybody out there to make that moolah. Make that moolah, baby. Hey, I made a big $8 a couple weeks ago on my FanDuel lineup, so hey, no question where that money's coming from.
More turning good.
And of course, this week does feature not only bye weeks, but also our first out of country game. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's start with the Thursday night matchup. And the Buccaneers travel to Atlanta, where Kirk Cousins seems to be starting to turn that offense. That's another offense as they seem to right the ship. They look a little more.
Yeah, a little bit more. I mean, I'd like to see, the value. I don't own Bijan in any leagues, but I'd like to see him get in the end zone. He's not really, that first round with top 5 pick in most leagues, probably top 6.
Indeed, I firmly have Bijan as a yellow start this week. I have as a moderate start. I'm not going to rush to put him in the lineup anytime soon. He's not done anything.
He is also a little banged up this week. So do
Right.
monitor that. Yeah, he didn't. He was not a full participant in practice, so just keep an eye on that as well. They're saying, I mean, obviously Algier, if you can grab him, depending on your waiver system, just in case, or hopefully you already have him for your,
Right. If you have Bijan, you should be handcuffing Algier to him relatively quickly if you can. Yeah, that's a tough one. So I got Bijan on my yellow start, and maybe even Algier above him for the short time coming, man. They seem to trust him more in the red zone too, which is always nice to get touchdowns. I mean, it is, fantasy league. So let's talk a little. What about Kirk Cousins against the Tampa Bay pass defense? Do you got Kirk Cousins as a definite start?
Well, I think Cousins is, if you guys didn't know, he has an interception
in every game,
in every home game so far this year.
Indeed.
So, I mean, Tampa defense is not no slouch. Or I'm not sure. I'm not good at English. But they're going.
I wouldn't rush to start him. Again, depending. A super flex, you might have to start him. I'm not. There's got to be better options than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he's not somebody I'm looking to start right now. He hasn't done great so far. Until you see that turnaround and you see that big game from him, that 280, 290, 2 touchdown game.
Right.
I wouldn't start him.
Well, and he's probably not a guy that's laying around on the waiver wire kind of. He's probably not a dude that you're going to be able to stream in and that kind of a thing.
Exactly.
So if you have him and you have a better option, go with your better option is definitely the panel's recommendation this week in this game. On Thursday night, too, you often get not great football on Thursday nights, man. It's just true. So if you're downgrading Kirk Cousins, I would assume that is also the case for Drake London and
definitely Kyle Pitts.
Pitts. What's going on with this guy, man? Is he? Are we ready to call him a bust yet, or what?
He's a bust.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll call it right now. I think he's droppable.
Yeah, I mean,
even
he's not getting it done
right now.
Right, and the tight end landscape is a pretty bleak one this year, but even still, I think he's hardly rosterable at the moment, man.
Yeah.
What about defensively? Would you start him against Baker Mayfield, the Falcons? I certainly would not.
Zero chance.
Yeah, zero chance. Exactly. I agree.
No.
Stone cold red start on the Falcons D. What about the other side? Let's run through Tampa real quick. I'm green lighting Baker. I'm green lighting Mike Evans. I'm green lighting Chris Godwin. Where are you standing on Bucky Irvin versus Rachaad White, guys?
Yellow
on both?
Yellow on both. Start, if you have them. I mean, if you had both of them, I wouldn't start both of them. But start both of them. You never know.
Yeah, I got yellow on both. Bucky looks like the guy they're trusting in the red zone right now, though, so that's big.
Yeah. It seems to be 50-50, 60-40, so that's tough, splitting those carries. Right. It's tough to pick which one's going to do it this week,
And Tampa's defense, I'm probably not going to be in a rush to start necessarily. There's got to be a better option out there. So,
Yeah.
all right, on to London we go. Let's go and get all craggy with it. And the Jets are going to play the Vikings over the pond. So let's start with what technically visiting team with is the Jets, man. I'm stone cold across the board on the Jets. I'm going to tell you, I'm not rushing to start Rodgers. I'm not rushing to start Breece Hall in this game. I think the Vikings are for real, for the record. Let me get that out for starters.
I hate to say it, but yeah, they look good.
I don't want to start the Jets defense. I might start their kicker, and that would be about it. What do you guys say, Jets wise?
Playing a league with punters, that might be pretty good.
Yeah, right. Where do you guys stand on the Jets side as far as starters?
No, I completely agree with you, man. There's no chance, again, unless you're super deep, super flex type of thing. Breece Hall is probably the only guy I would, just because you might not have much of a better option. He still gets a few catches. He's, depending on PPR. Right. But no, don't love him. Don't love any of the Jets.
I don't either, yeah.
That defense is for real. They hit. He changes up the scheme so well. He confuses you. They're flustered. Rodgers is coming in sore from taking a whooping from Denver last week.
1,000%.
Don't love it. Don't love any of it.
1,000%. I agree with you across the board. Oh, well, what about the Vikings then, Jay? What do you think about starting some of your Vikings, man? Would you say Sam Darnold continue the success he's had so far?
I love that kid, man. I'm kind of happy. He went from seeing ghosts to being the most.
Yeah, man. How funny is that?
I have a sleeper from that game, and I think it's going to be Jordan Addison.
Okay, right. Okay, because
Addison's going to have a great game. In
Jefferson will certainly see double coverage on the other side, I would say. So
exactly. So that's
see a lot of sauce too. Yeah,
yeah, right. Yes, and sauce is for real, son.
Do it.
I would start the Vikings defense if you got him this week, man, against Rodgers. He's going to turn the ball over a couple of times, man. That team's been fumble prone. I personally think that what's his name, the coach? Oh, his name escapes me, but Jets coach,
Robert Saleh.
I think he sucks. I just do. It's my feeling. I think he seems like a nice guy. I watched the Hard Knocks with him, and he seems very likable, to be honest. But he's a terrible coach, man. I think he's in over his head. He's a shitty coach, and he doesn't know what to do with the Jets. Yeah, I think he's done. Yeah,
playoffs. Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, and when they miss the playoffs this year, which they will, he'll be out of a job. So, all right, let's go to Carolina to Chicago, man. Two teams that kind of remind me of each other right now, man, in the process of building something from the basement up, I guess. But the Panthers are a little bit better than everybody thought they would be. I think the Bears might be a little bit worse than everybody. Not much, but a little bit. Caleb Williams is still a developmental progress. I'll bet if the Bears had another shot at number one right now, they'd be looking at Jaden Daniels with it. But but we'll get to old Jaden in a minute, man. Let's start with Carolina on the road. How do we feel about their starters, man? Anybody jump out at you? Or are you cold across the board like I am? I'm not rushing out Andy Dalton necessarily this week. I don't love any of the Carolina Panthers.
Chuba's been playing great football, but not exactly the best matchup. The Bears' defense is pretty aggressive. They're good at stopping the run.
And I was going to say, and their strength is the run stoppage.
I mean, they've all been hot since Dalton got there. I mean, Deontay Johnson's been looking great. Again, it's a tough matchup, probably a low-scoring game. I don't know what the over/under is. I didn't see that.
I'll bet it's low, though. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Probably in 30s. I don't love it, but again, bigger leagues you might have to.
Well, basically, I have to start Dalton this week and
yeah, especially if you're in a super flex, you might have to as well.
Yeah,
well, absolutely. I have to because golf's on the bye, so I have to. And you know what? I kind of feel good about it. That's why Carolina looks better right now is because of Andy Dalton.
They look like a different team, honestly, with Dalton behind center than they did with. Yeah,
I like Hubbard too. Chuba Hubbard. I think he's going to do all right also.
Yeah, he could. As they get him some opportunities in the red zone, he could definitely punch in some touchdowns. I don't love the matchup for him this week, so I have him mid. I think I have him around 15 in my rankings. That doesn't mean, depending on whatever your options are, you might have to start him for sure. As far as the Bears go, I'm not rushing Caleb out there anytime soon, man, to be honest. Fantasy-wise, he's just not the guy right now. So you have to have a better option.
If there was a secondary that he could have his breakout game, this could be, it could be
right. That's true. That is true. So keep an eye on it. But Which honestly, that to me, I would bench him, but I might consider Moore starting and maybe even a Dunze, as far as if you're depending on where you are wide receiver wise. But
I'd probably go more over a Dunze.
yeah. What about Komet? You got Komet in the green light zone?
Hey, you never know. If you're hurting for tight ends are low right now, man.
You can do worse than him, man. He and Caleb seem to have some chemistry, so that could benefit him, So.
I mean, dude, you can throw you in with Bobby Boucher in there.
Let's go, baby. I got it. I like to play the foosball, and you showed me your boobies, and I like those too.
I'll pick you up off waivers.
Browns at the Commanders, man. Now's my chance to talk about it. I love this kid. I love this kid. I love to watch him play. I'll bet the Bears are thinking to themselves, holy shit, we could have had a competent offense already. Imagine this kid with Dunze and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet to throw the balls to. I mean,
real weapons. Yeah, it's scary.
He's got Scary Terry, which I believe in, but not much beyond that, in my opinion, around him at the moment. But the Browns defense is no slouch, by the way. They're for real defense, but I think Daniels is in must-start territory now. What do you guys say?
Oh, all day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in a couple leagues right now where I would kill to have Daniels right now. He's been solid. He looks like he loves playing the game. And he doesn't get rattled.
In almost every offensive series he leads ends in points. I mean, fuck, that's pretty good.
He does something every time.
That's pretty good.
And that's what you want. And you've got that run pass option. You can get points anyway, depending on what your fantasy scoring is.
Right.
You can get points any way from this guy. I love him. He's probably one of my best favorite fantasy players that I do not have right now.
As Larry David would say, he's pretty good. So
pretty good.
I like Scary Terry this week. I like Jaden Daniels. In the backfield, depending on your options, I don't love Brian Robinson Jr. this week. I have a middle of the pack kind of, to be honest with you, but depending on what your options are, you might have to throw him out there.
Right.
What do you guys say?
He has been playing great. I mean, I actually heard a story today. This guy's kid drafted Brian Robinson accidentally just because it was B Robinson, when they did it on the computer. And
man.
When he was talking about the draft, and kid was so upset, but he's actually doing so much better than Bijan. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, man. No kidding. Got the wrong B Robinson, and it worked out for you.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, that's right, man. That's
right.
Yeah,
tough match. But again, you might have to, and it's not the worst situation. I mean, the kid's running hard. Kid's scoring almost every. I mean, like you said, they're in there 80% of the time. He's going to get his goal line touches. So.
And he runs like he's been shot in the ass.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
They say, hey, that kid needs a shot in the ass. This dude actually got one. So fuck me, All right,
we gonna get you moving, son.
Brown side of the ball, I don't love Deshaun Watson still. I just don't. He doesn't impress me. He's turnover friendly. He looks a little lost out there sometimes. And honestly, even when he has time, I've seen series where he's back there with time and just can't figure out what to do with the ball. I mean, I don't love him. I have Deshaun Watson bottom tier. You got to be able to do better than him. And with that being said, I don't love pretty much any Brown this week, man. Maybe Amari Cooper if you're, wide receiver.
Yeah, secondary isn't very good.
Right, exactly.
But again, it just depends on who's throwing the ball, and it just depends on if he's on. But
honestly, I believe the Browns are going to be behind. So
yeah.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just saying. I mean, Cooper, outside of Cooper, Jerry Judy's not been great.
No.
Again, if there's a chance, this is the week. It's one of those situations, but you got to have better options, I would think, than Judy.
Yeah, hopefully.
Exactly. I mean, I think that Watson. I mean, he could be great. It's going to be I think Cleveland's going to lose, but Watson,
I do too.
He's just not in the game anymore. No. He's too worried about his massage appointments.
Well, that's right. They threw too much money at this guy, and he's not going to earn that contract at all. So
hell no. He's got
meanwhile,
money.
And they have to watch Baker Mayfield kick ass for Tampa. So that's salt on the wound, my friend.
Dude, I love it. I kind of love it.
I'm not rushing out either one of these defenses. I like Cleveland, but I think Jaden is controlling the ball pretty well. I don't look for that to be a turnover fest, so I don't like either defense this week. Miami at your New England Patriots. Bean, I got to let you start on this one, sir.
Why? Who's even gonna watch this game?
Why?
Sunday night game?
Ow, there was so much pain in that, Bean. Oh,
I mean, what did he throw for? Did he even throw for 100 yards? I don't think so.
right, like
Yeah,
14
Tyreek
yards.
on the sideline. Oh my God, he just wants to go out and bang some more strains so he can have like 4 more kids. He's so stressed out. I don't understand. I mean, would he get 3 catches for like 19 yards, if even? I mean, Waddle.
Yeah.
I got a guy in my league who keeps trying to sell me Waddle. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Not without Tua. Yeah, no way.
What a loss. Like we were just saying earlier, there's so many different options. I think the GM just botched that team by not getting a backup. I mean, the Tua you knew was one hit away from saying bye-bye.
Yeah.
And here we are.
In literally expected territory, like you said, man.
And Achan is different too because he's not a great through the tackles runner. He's speed. If he gets through that line and gets into some space into the secondary, he's gone. But when there's 3 or 4 guys there, he's not built for it. So Achan's hurt, and they're not scheming to get him the ball. So far, we know with Huntley in there, I don't even think he had a catch. If maybe one, I didn't see any. But yeah, he's been used.
Yeah, I mean, literally, Tyreek Hill has fallen off the table with Tua. It's
not even a top 30 wide receiver. Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Right. That's just crazy.
Third, second, third pick this year.
I feel like if I played quarterback and you gave me Tyreek Hill, I could keep him in the top 30.
Yeah.
That's Jones' problem, man. They knew it was like, come on, man. Insane, dude's already had 4 concussions.
On the other side of the ball, Bean, you said?
Huh? Just as funny. I mean, it's just as sad, whatever you want to call it. There's no Patriots you can start. Stevenson probably was the only one really in the beginning of the year, and he's fumbled in every game this year.
Yeah, Stevenson's got a fumble in every game. How about that?
Yeah, Coach Mayo today was just saying we're not there yet, but we're very close to maybe even starting Gibson over Stevenson. So I mean, maybe I know the waivers have probably gone through in your league, but maybe a guy to pick up just in case that does happen. Right. He at least catches a lot out of the backfield as well too. So, but yeah, gross. I mean, you imagine the day. I mean, growing up a Patriots fan, there's not one guy you'd want in your fantasy team.
From even a few years ago to now, what a difference! Crazy.
No, don't. This whole game, I'm not even going to watch it. Probably.
Yeah, it's going to be an ugly game. I'm not in a hurry to start a whole lot of people from this game. Honestly, maybe maybe the Patriots defense. I don't know. Even that's a yellow start, but
they're not bad.
Yeah,
they're not bad.
It might be a streamable option out there for you to think about at least.
Again, the bye week blues, man. Sometimes you might need somebody.
And Huntley is not afraid to give you the ball if you're the other team. So
no, he'll just be like, "Hey, here you go.
That's right.
Free samples."
Thank you for the football, my friend. All right, Colts Jaguars. Let's go to the Colts Jaguars, man. Anthony Richardson looks like shit, man. He looks terrible to me.
He's
thrown some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life this year. Honestly, crazy.
I dropped him.
I don't blame you. I really don't.
I'm done with him.
He's hardly rosterable at this point. He really is. I
didn't want that stress. So that's how I feel about that guy. What about you, Bean?
It's tough. I mean, you looked at Joe Flacco in one half, and he threw for like 182 touchdowns. I mean, it was night and day. It's sad that they put all this money into the kid. I actually like the kid. He's so athletic. Yeah. He looks like a monster out there, but it's just not. He's not accurate right now. Something's a little off. I mean,
the decision making is terrible.
Horrible, and he's just not. Yeah, between that and just not being accurate. I mean, combine those two, and good God. I mean, he does have the capability to run you over and get those rushing touchdowns, but he's just struggling so much they're not getting down the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too worried about being fancy. I mean, it's like you just got hurt. Oh, come back into the game.
Pittman showed some signs of life, but it looks like he might show signs of life more with the backup. But
their whole wide receiver core is built around having that guy Flacco in. I mean, they're really startable until he's in there, which is again just weird.
I'll bet Pittman's like, go Joe, go with Joe. Pittman's a hell of a receiver. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, he's great.
But you got to have a quarterback or else your receiver. I mean, look at Tyreek Hill right now. The quarterback situation.
You got to have somebody throw it to you.
And I might consider, if you're a defense streamer, I might give the Colts defense a look. You know, Jacksonville's not playing stellar offense. They are turning the ball over quite a bit also. So Colts might be a streamable defense. But what do you guys say as far as the Colts side, guys?
The only thing I'd actually be worried about is you're the only one you'd start because he did not practice. He might
Taylor.
But yeah, just keep monitoring that.
Right.
I did hear that Trey Sermon's the guy they're going to go to if he can't go. But yeah, otherwise he's been playing awesome. I mean, he's been playing lights out. So
yeah, if Taylor can't go, Trey is worth grabbing.
Yeah, and again, it depends on who the quarterback is that day. You know, don't want to start Richardson, to be honest. But if for some reason you get a guy like Flacco in a bigger league, in a super flex or something, yeah, I would definitely start him and then start your receivers. But yeah, there's no real go-to guy when Richardson's in there, other than the go-to guy is probably the dirt because he hits that more than his offensive players.
That's right.
I really would.
That's right. Can I start dirt?
For the other team.
What about Trevor Lawrence? I'm tired of waiting for him to wake up, man. He's middle of the pack guy. He's always going to be a middle of the pack guy. That's just who he is.
No, Peterson sucks.
Yeah.
He don't know how to develop
another guy that's going to lose his job soon.
Yeah, I think so as well.
He needs to go.
What about Travis Etienne, man? Would you start him?
Another situation where it's a little bit of a crowded room right now, and Tanks Bigsby has been getting the better explosive plays. They're both solid players. I definitely start Etienne.
Right.
Christian Kirk, any receivers jump out at you?
Brian Thomas Jr. has been playing really well.
And he looks like their go-to guy right now.
Yeah, I don't know why they weren't going to Kirk as much the first couple of games. It was really odd. You know, I thought going in he'd be their number one, you know, with the rookie right behind him. And they've finally been throwing it, his way. Right. And he got a touchdown this week. He had a really solid game. So, yeah, keep going with Kirk. Thomas Jr. for sure.
Yeah, right. Roll them out there.
Yeah, the offense is, it's tough.
And Jacksonville's defense is bad, so they're going to have to play some offense this year.
I'll be a little happier about Jacksonville's wide receivers once Ingram is definitely back.
Yeah, I would like to see Ingram make his return, man. He's a weapon, and the tight end landscape needs him.
It ended up a pregame injury, and now it's been 2 weeks already?
2 weeks and counting. Crazy.
Fantasy football, y'all.
Fantasy football, Bills and Texans. I am looking forward to this game. It's one of those games of the week for me. I think you kind of start everybody in this one, man, right? I mean, do you start everybody? If you got anybody in this game, it's go time. I green lighted across the board. Josh Allen, James Cook, fucking. This is the week maybe Keon Coleman gets into the end zone. I'm thinking maybe, or
he was a little banged up. I heard today.
Okay,
Coleman and Dalton Kincaid start them. I mean,
I would start them. Yeah, for sure. Same with Houston. I'm starting fucking everybody across. I'm starting Stroud. I'm starting fucking.
Oh, Nico's my favorite.
I love Nico this week. I love Nico. Yeah, I love him.
Angry. He wants to hit you. He wants to run through you. He's 12 for 1 and a TD last.
He's a football player, boy.
Yeah,
it's probably the best fantasy game of the week.
I think so. Yeah, this is the game of the week for me. Yeah.
Don't forget, going back to the Bills, you got Shakir.
Yeah, I like Shakir this week
too. I mean, he's a little banged up right now, but
he is banged up. But
man, he's been getting targeted. His target's been rising. So
I start everything in this game except the defenses. I don't want no part of either defense.
Hell no.
Not the revenge game. This is the revenge game.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right. Ravens at the Bengals for an interdivisional matchup, man. I think the Ravens are looking tougher. I had people questioning them early, saying, "Man, what happened? I thought they were a Super Bowl contender." But right now, they look like a Super Bowl contender. They took the Bills apart last week, man. I mean, so what do you think on the road in Cincinnati? Let's start on Baltimore side of the ball. Are you loving Lamar this week?
Man,
are you not loving Lamar, Jay?
Uh-oh.
No, I mean, I like Lamar, but I mean, this was the game that I'm thinking this is the upset of the week.
Whoa, you're looking for the Bengals to take out Baltimore. Whoa, okay.
I think
Cincinnati needs it. I'll tell you that. Cincinnati needs this game.
Slow down that run. If they could slow down,
that's a big if. That's a big if.
It's a huge if. I mean, you got a freaking monster coming at you.
Yeah. I don't think they can. I think Derrick Henry runs over and through them, and I think Baltimore takes Cincinnati apart.
I take chances. That's why I lose at fantasy.
I love Derrick Henry in this game, man. I love Derrick Henry in this game. Right.
I think if they give Burrow some time, I think he's going to do some work. I think something could happen.
You got a lot of big ifs.
That's my upset of the week. I said if I'm right,
all right,
I could be wrong.
I'm marking it down. We got remember that, you guys. We got Bass with the upset of the week in Cincy. Cincy is at home. So what do you got, Bean? How you looking at it?
It's another game of starting everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Some of you guys would sit in this. Moss is running well. I know he split a lot last week. They both scored touchdowns. Jamar Chase is finally on, gelling more with Joe Burrow. And, Higgins is back. I mean, they look good. They look good.
What quite a fashion statement from that guy lately. Holy shit, man.
Started off 0-3 with that hairdo, man.
Yeah, no wonder you're losing, dude. Jesus Christ. But yeah, how fucking yeah, I start everybody in this game. I don't love the defenses again in either one. I'm not rushing out Baltimore or Cincy's defense in this game, but everybody else I'm starting, man. I'm putting them out there. Let's give it a go, buddy. I like Zach Moss still. I do. I even think Joe Burrow gets it done this week. I think he's going to score some points. I personally think that Derrick Henry's going to be the guy. If he has the ball in the fourth quarter and they need first downs to win, it's over. So,
man, they made a candy bar named after him. Henry.
Oh, Henry. I was in a hotel room one time and there was a girl in the next room who was really, really enjoying that candy bar because I heard her all night going, "Oh, Henry. Oh, Henry." Anyway,
it is a good. It is a great candy bar. I don't blame him.
Raiders at Broncos.
It might have been me that you heard.
Well, let's talk about this Davante Adams thing a little bit, man. What do you think? Are his days numbered in a Raiders uniform?
He took his last snap in Vegas. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
I don't think the hamstring's real. I think
I don't either. Yeah, this is a trade in the making. Any guesses on where he lands?
Probably the Jets. I don't think that's the best fit for him, but there's not a lot of
could use them.
They can't afford him.
That's right. Yeah.
Sure, a lot of them he wouldn't want to go to, like Patriot. There's Washington could afford him. How gross would that be to have that connection?
He'd be nice. I
mean, that would be crazy. Dallas was another team rumored. Clearly, they could use more offense, but that's not what's hurting them as much. Obviously their defense is
right. They need to remember how to tackle somebody. Is what the fuck Dallas needs to do.
And now they're banged up.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm going to call this right now. I'm going ahead, going out on a limb. I'm saying he's going to the Steelers.
Oh, okay.
If that happens, this is Jay Bass's word. Go out, do what you can to pick up Pickens.
Yeah. Oh, Pickens. Okay.
Pickens, because everybody's going to worry about Devontae. Pickens is already on the borderline, doing okay. It's going to be all right.
Going to be all right. Well, I don't start Davante Adams until further notice, ladies and gentlemen. I would keep on that situation,
Yeah, in fact, I think he might already be out. He might
by this weekend. Right, you're right.
I think
What about so who do you start then? I like Jacoby Myers in his absence, honestly, especially in this game where Denver's tough, got a fantastic secondary so far this year. I don't love Minshew. I think I start Jacoby Myers and on the Raiders side of the ball, and that might be it, honestly.
That's a tough defense. I mean, you saw what they did to the Jets last week. I mean, that was. I mean, the weather had a little bit to do with that.
Well, and the Jets had a little bit to do with that as well, too. But let's be honest.
The weather, the Jets suck.
Yeah. I think that Denver's defense is not as good as advertised right now myself. So we'll see. With Denver, you start who? Nobody?
I mean, Bo Nix threw for 60 yards last week.
60 yards, brother.
Whoa.
Sutton had most of them. I think he had 50 and a touchdown. So Sutton might be the only guy. If you have to,
if your quarterback's throwing for 100 yards, it does not bode well for your receiver to do well.
Not great at math, but yeah,
right, exactly.
I'd start the Broncos D.
I would consider both defenses if you're streamers. If you're defensive streamers, I'd give it.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
Give consideration to both. I like old Max Crosby too. He's got some.
And Max,
yeah. So he's got some game. I think both of these defenses have a chance to do well, man. So let's go to Arizona at 49ers, man. The 49ers. Again, rolling with Jordan Mason, so you got to roll him. I think this is a game where Brock Purdy could resurrect himself and do well, to be honest. I like Brandon Ayuk this week, and I like George Kittle this week as far as the tight ends go on the San Francisco side of the ball. What do you guys say about the Niners?
I was just going to, the secondary's rough. I'd start, I think Debo is playing. I'll double check.
Is Debo returning this week?
Yeah, he played a little bit last week. He only had a few catches, but they were just testing him out last week. But yeah, he'll play.
Most likely. Yeah, with Debo,
like you were saying, Purdy's a great start for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Clearly he's been a top 3 running back all year. So you got to roll with him.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that looks great for Purdy. I would have Purdy going if you can, and of course Mason. And I like your call with Kittle. Kittle looks good.
Yeah, I like Kittle this week. Yeah, Debo Samuel is a go, by the way. I just double checked that. Samuel is a go. So that's a good call. Thank you for that, Bean. All right. Well, then in that case, you got to start Debo, man. I like Debo. The way they use him, they make sure they get that guy the football, and I like him.
Dude, they move. He uses it. He reminds me of a
Cordell Patterson type of a guy.
Cordell exactly.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson. Yeah, you just move him around.
A great utility guy, man, like a Darren Sproles used to be, kind of a cat. You know what I mean? I like those guys.
With army knife.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. What about Kyler Murray, man? I like the Niners defense, man. So I don't think I'm in love with Kyler Murray this week. I'm not in love with Murray. I got a yellow light on Connor. I got a yellow light on the receivers. I'm yellow lighting the Cardinals across the board this week myself on the road against the Niners defense.
I'm with you 100%. Yellow light. I might give a green light to Harrison because they're going to have to pass if he can get the ball out.
They'll be behind, right?
For Harrison. Oh, they're going to be behind. So
I don't necessarily love Harrison this week, but myself. We'll see.
They're just going to be slinging it, and Murray, I don't know. Murray really hasn't lived up to his, preseason expectations.
No. Right.
He has not. Last week matchup of the year for him, and
everybody was all in on Kyler Murray last week. That's right. Everybody, and you remember,
look at the
I was a little lukewarm on him, and he's not the guy, man. He's not the guy.
And he's not playing well now, and the worst part about that is the new Call of Duty comes out in like 2 weeks.
That.
Dude, it's over.
It could be a lost cause after that.
Yeah, that's right. You better believe it. He'll be more worried about that than football for sure. Yeah, fuck.
He's gonna get his juice box and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, that's right, man. He'll be sitting with a Lunchable, and we'll see no good football from that kid. Let's go to the Giants Seahawks, man. I like Geno this week, man. Let's talk about Seattle first. I like Geno. I like fucking Kenneth Walker. I like DK Metcalf. I like Tyler Lockett. I like the Seahawks this week.
Yeah.
I like Seahawks, and I cannot lie. Yeah, I did that. I said that. I don't give a fuck.
I kind of like them this week, although I didn't like them last week when the Lions beat their ass. But Kenneth Walker. Yeah. I would start Kenneth Walker in a heartbeat. He's a monster. Geno Smith, I love him. He's my
Geno's a top 5 quarterback this week, man. Geno's top 5 this week.
He's my West Virginia guy.
There you go.
And Jigba, maybe.
I like him too, man. If you're got to go middle of the road, if you got to reach, if you got a flex option, man, I might stick an old Jigba in there.
It's bye week, man. You need somebody to play.
And Geno likes him in the red zone. That says a lot. What do you say about the Giants, Bean?
Yeah, nobody.
We don't know, especially if Neighbors is out.
He's in concussion protocol, still early phase of that, and it's going to be day by day, which sucks, And technically, most of the time they have missed at least one game, but we'll see. And Singletary's out as well. They're starting running back.
Ouch.
So stream Seahawks defense maybe on a reach.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks defense a lot.
Neighbors, Singletary, Daniel Jones, you add those all up, and that's beautiful.
Right, and it's in Seattle, which is another.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I like that a lot.
They got a great 12th man there, man.
Yeah, Seahawks defense actually looked all right Monday night.
I love them this week.
I'm not being an ass. I mean, they did
No, I
look
agree.
all right.
I think so.
They
I love
look
them
good.
against the Giants.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
the Seahawks score a defensive touchdown this week, man. They're going to pick six Daniel
pick six.
Jones.
Yeah.
I can see that.
So,
Okay.
and yeah, I don't like the Giants. I don't like any Giants, especially with Singletary
No.
out. I would start if they green light Neighbors. I start him because he's definitely a must start guy already.
Yeah.
You have to.
But I don't know. Keep an eye on that man. In concussion protocol, it's likely he misses a game. Packers Rams, guys. Let's go to the Packers Rams game. What do you think? Jordan Love is back, huh? What do you think? Looked pretty good in his return. It took a while. He was slow to get it going, but he certainly did.
Yeah, he looks good, man. He's back to it.
He looks poised. Him and Jaden Daniels got that thing I call poise, and it shows.
Yeah, they
calm.
do.
Real calm.
Right.
They have what you call it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a division rival from my boys.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
He looks good. He's getting back into the swing of it. Unfortunately, they lost Watson.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Watson definitely looks like he's going to be out this week. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, you guys picked up Wicks, Dontavian Wicks.
Dontavian Wicks is a good start. I love Jaden Reed this week. I love Jordan Reed. Jordan Love. I love Jaden Reed. I love fucking Josh Jacobs this week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, there's going to be some points in this one. This is another game I don't want any part of either defense in. You know what I mean?
No, hell no. Nope.
These are not streaming options for defense right here. What about the Rams, man? What do you got? Any Rams you're jumping on? How do you feel about the Stafford and company?
Maybe Stafford.
I like Stafford. I'm starting Stafford, and I'm starting Kyron Williams. I'm starting. What's the status of their receivers? Anybody coming back anytime soon?
Cooper Kupp maybe back as soon as the bye week. I think their bye week is 5. I think so. Maybe possibly as early as week 6. That's the last I heard. It was right after.
I miss him. I like him. I miss him.
Don't know about Puka. Doesn't sound good for him. It's going to be a little bit longer for him. So yeah, Stafford without those guys hasn't been, but he still slings it. I mean, 2 and go. They've got a few guys you could pick up off and again, probably late on the waivers, but definitely startable in bigger leagues for sure. Yeah. And Kyron, I mean, he's a must. I mean, he's matchup proof because he gets 80% of the running back carry, whether it's carries or catches. I mean, he is the offense. He's the entire offense.
He is the offense. They loved it. He's their own Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they use them exactly like
Bean got that info. He's coming out.
Bean bringing it to you, man. And I'll tell you, Kyron Williams emerged as that guy last year that if you were able to grab him off the waiver wire,
winner, man. Got me to the champion.
And he continues to be a weapon, man. So there you go, man. And this Packers-Rams game, no defense, start everybody on offense, man, across the board, even kickers.
Pretty much.
Let's go to the Sunday night. We just got 2 games left, babe. Everybody hang with us. We got 2 more games.
Let's go.
Cowboys at the Steelers Sunday night, man, in Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be a heck of a game also. I think this is the game where I'm considering starting everybody again.
Exactly. I wouldn't start a defense just like we just talked about.
No defense. Speaking of which, the Cowboys have been a horrendous disappointment fantasy-wise defensively so far this year, man.
Dude, that's where I'm going. I'm saying start Najee, start Fields.
I love Najee. This is the breakout game for Harris this week. This is where Najee Harris is going to Justin Fields is very startable. Najee Harris is very startable. I think I start Pickens. I start Pat Freemuth. I'm not afraid of any of those guys. On the Cowboys on the side of the ball, I say again, other than the running game, I really want no part of the Cowboys running game right now. They're
especially
not
against the Steelers. Yeah, I've done. And
you know what? I'd take a shot on Dowdle.
If in a super weak,
try to get him involved.
In a super thick league, I might give him a shot, but I'm avoiding the Dallas run game, but I'm definitely throwing Dak out there. I'm throwing CD Lamb out there.
Ferguson for sure.
And Ferguson, I mean,
Fergie.
Tight ends being what they are, you need Ferguson,
I think Cooks might be out. I think I did hear something late. I just did remember that myself. I think he might be out.
Again.
There you go. Brandon Cooks is Absence of from practice today,
Yeah,
so
he was
that
not
is not good. Yeah, there you go. Keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Cooks is out of practice. So there you go, man. Start all your Cowboys, start all your Steelers, get them out there, get them done, get them rocking and rolling. Let's go to Monday night where the Saints go to the Chiefs. Only one Monday nighter for the first time this year, guys. Well, just one Monday nighter. What will we do with
Finally, I can go to bed early. Jesus Christ, I get up early as hell for work, man.
I
This
like
is
the offense.
ridiculous.
Yes, you do. I like the offense in this game again, man. I think I'm starting Derek Carr. I'm starting Alvin Kamara, who's been a superstar this year. I'm starting fucking Olave. I like those guys a lot. I like, of course, Patrick Mahomes is, foolproof. You have to start him if you got him. You put a lot of draft capital into that guy to get him, so you have to start him. Does Kelsey reemerge this week? Saints are not great against the tight end.
If it's not this week, it's not going to be any week.
Yeah, I gotta wonder, right?
That's basically what you got to say, because that's basically all they have right now. They have a couple other guys. They've lost their big ones.
Without Rossi Rice, I think this is the week Kelsey goes off, actually. I think I look for a big Kelsey game this week.
He can do it.
Yeah.
He can do it.
Monday night, too. He seems to like that spotlight. I think that Monday night Kelsey's going to do well. We're going to see a lot of Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully she'll throw her ass
Monday
up
night.
on the glass.
Yeah. I'm not one of those guys that bitches. I think she's cute. So
Saints defense might be a solid stream if you're really struggling there too, because obviously they're not throwing out a lot of firepower. Yeah. I mean, Mahomes is not the same. He's 15th or 16th every week.
All right, well, there you go, man. I'm going to throw everybody that you kind of can tell where we feel on most of your starters there, but I think that you get a feel for where we're pushing you. Let's talk a little bit about, did you guys happen to do a FanDuel or a
DraftKings?
I did a FanDuel lineup. You guys want to give me your DraftKings lineup, and then I'll tell you my.
All right, I actually mixed it up this week, and I did FanDuel just to.
Nice. All right, give it to me.
Yeah, I got both. I gamble a little bit, guys.
Hey, we like. Who knew? We've assembled a crew that like to put money on sports. Who knew? Who would have thunk it?
Prop bets. But yeah, I do FanDuel together. It's a little different salary wise than DraftKings, but we'll get you there.
Yeah.
At QB,
I got a FanDuel lineup too, so give me yours.
There you go. I got Jordan Love at QB.
Nice. Okay.
He was my big spend of
big spend. Okay.
Running back one, Ken Walker at 7,400. I think he's gonna go bonkers again.
Yeah.
Your boy Najee, who you said is gonna have the game of the game of his.
Yep.
I got him in my FanDuel as well.
6,500. Yeah. DK, who we talked about, is probably going to have a monster game.
I love DK this week.
Christian Kirk, 6,100.
Nice.
To Atwell for the reach at 5,600. But, he's
somebody's got to catch the ball. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to sling it.
Right.
Freiermuth, the tight end, for 5,200, who's coming off his best game of the year. So I'm kind of chasing points there, but it's the value, and tight ends are a crapshoot.
Right. Hey, Dallas's defense has given up some points to it, too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. In the flex, I got Jordan Mason. Again, he's
nice.
I think. In defense, I picked Denver.
Good flex.
Nice.
And Denver was 4,000, and Mason was 87. Actually, you take that back. Mason was the most expensive at 87.
Yeah, Mason was a big spender. Yeah, nice. Okay, good deal. I like it. That's a fucking money winner, guys.
Promise. Put $5 on that.
Yeah, fucking throw $5 on it and see what happens, you guys. Yeah, I'll give you my FanDuel lineup, man. I will tell you, I started a quarterback with Justin Fields against the Cowboys. I like him this week for 7,600. Not too expensive.
Not bad.
Middle of the road price for what should be hopefully high value. I did go high and got Jordan Mason, man, $8,700 for the running back one spot. As we talked about Najee Harris, I like him this week against the Cowboys defense. I kind of doubled up Fields and Harris together against Dallas this week, but I like the combo. 6,500 is a cheap price tag too. I like Brian Thomas Jr., Jacksonville receiver this week for 6,300 against the Colts secondary. I'm also staying cheap. I went cheap receivers across the board so that I could spend money on my boy Mason and also on my flex spot, which we'll get to. But I stayed cheap with receivers. I spent $6,300 on Brian Thomas. I spent $6,200 on Amari Cooper. I spent $5,800 on Jacoby Myers with the Raiders this week with no Devontae Adams.
Good value.
and I like the price tag on him a lot. I spent $5,400 at the tight end for Schultz. I'm going with Schultz to have a good game against.
That's one of the big scorers. Yeah.
Yeah, man, get that fucking.
You don't know who's going to get it. Yep.
Well, and it's a revenge game. Hopefully, man, he'll get them points against Buffalo, his former team. So. And I went hog wild at flex, man. Since I was able to go cheap at receiver, I got Kyron Williams for $8,400 in my flex spot for starting him against the Packers. And all of that meant I could start the Seattle Seahawks defense against those Giants. Danny Dimes throwing away the ball to the other team. So,
very nice.
Stick that lineup in there and win you some money, ladies and gentlemen, from the FanDuel fuckers.
There you go. Those are the FanDuel ones. Now I've got a nice DraftKings one if anybody wants to listen to it. Starting off, I've got Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, yeah, I like him this week.
At $6,200.
Nice.
I have Justice Hill at $5,300.
Right, that's nice.
Because I think if it ends up being, I know I said,
dude, that's a great price tag for him, man. Yeah,
I'll take it. He's been getting great points. So
if he cashes out for that, you'll be in the money.
My second running back in DraftKings is Kenneth Walker.
Nice.
For $6,800.
Nice. Spend some money on him, but he'll be worth it.
Yeah, he'll be worth it. I've got Chris Godwin as my first wide receiver at $6,800.
Love it.
DK Metcalf at $7,000. I had to pay a little bit for that guy, but
yeah, I still like it. Yeah,
that looked good. And I took a chance on the waiver wire Madonna, I guess you could say, this week. Fabian Wicks.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I'm going to take a shot. He was 5,000.
Yeah.
Vogue. He's 5,000. Yeah. Come on, Vogue.
Let your body move to the music. Right. There you go. All right, perfect. I like it.
My tight end is going to be Jake the Turd Ferguson.
Nice. I like it. I like him this week.
$4,800.
Nice.
I mean, hey, in the world of tight ends that we are in, might as well. My flex is going to be Alan Lazard.
Rogers loves Lazard too.
It's going to be a game against Minnesota.
He's kept that old man relevant. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Lazard doesn't get 10 to 12 targets.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
For my last one for the defense for $3,500, I got the Seahawks versus the Giants.
Nice. Yeah. Everybody picking on Danny Dimes this week.
Tragic.
Yeah. It's a tragedy. Son of a whore. I like it. I like it, man. Well, there you go, man. I will tell you all out there, ladies and gentlemen, that it's a little bit of a stripped down bear episode this week. I am heading off to Tennessee almost not long after the recording of this program, even, because we will be emceeing the Tennessee Metal Devastation Festival this weekend in Tennessee. I hope that a bunch of you metalheads can drive out there and join us. I will have a good time. Yeah, hey, that's me. I'm Papa Smurf. Look at me. I'm blue right now. I don't know why I'm so blue, you guys. Yeah, I'm blue. But yeah, look, I am I'll take Skeletor over Papa Smurf. But I'm leaving to go to Tennessee. We're gonna have a good time, man. So we will be watching football on the drive home Sunday as all of these things unfold. So I wish many of you fantasy success for the weekend. Please keep tuning in with us. Tell your friends, man, and we will help you win some championships here at the Fantasy Football Factory. What do you think, guys?
Hey, man, have fun at your festival. That's going to be awesome. I'm happy for it as hell for you. I wish I could make it, but I got my birthday party coming up. So.
That's right. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to Jay, everybody. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
What about you, Bean? You're going to meet me in Tennessee, right?
Tennessee. I'll leave.
You're going to meet me in Tennessee and party with me?
Absolutely. Do some shrooms.
Yeah, come on. Let's go. Happy birthday, Jay. I love you, brother.
Hey, I love you guys too, man.
Bean, I love you, brother. Thanks for hanging out. And let's do the Fantasy Football Factory a little bit more in the future, man. Keep hanging out with us. We'll keep doing this thing. Hey, see you guys next week.
Let's get it.